So what is going on, guys? It's Zenkai Gaming back again with another video, and I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 tips for achieving victory in the realm of the dead in the new game mode Rivals, part of Ghost of Tsushima Legends. It's great to see everyone having fun with the new Legends content. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Let's get started. The first tip I have, and this might be obvious to everyone already, but duo. Play with a friend or somebody you know, someone you can trust, someone you can communicate with. This is a competitive game mode, so to have the best shot at winning, you need to be in sync and on the same page with your teammate. If you don't have anyone to play with, that's okay. I'm actually in the same boat. Like 99% of the time, I'm running solo. But just know that you will most likely be at a disadvantage if you run up against a pre-made team. The second tip I have for you is rotations. Now, there's plenty of ways I've seen people going about rotating around the map. The most common start is the Oni chest, and that's what I would recommend at the moment. As soon as the game starts, go straight for the Oni chest and complete it. It's 10 Magatama right off the bat. Now here's where the play kind of splits off. I've seen players split the first area into 2 halves. So one goes and clears the top half with the Mongols, and the other clears the bottom half and frees the Onryo. I've seen one player clear the first area solo completely, just completely solo, while the other player runs around to free all of the other Onryo, and then clears that second wave that spawns in. I've seen other strategies. I can't say for sure which strategy is the best. It really depends on the situation and who you're up against. But what I can say for sure is, however you choose to move around the map, do it with conviction and do it with precision. Be synchronized. Stick to the game plan and do not hesitate, because hesitating or backtracking will kill your time, because seconds are the difference in this game mode. Seconds are the difference between you and the other team starting their last stand waves first. Seconds are the difference between you and the other team purchasing a shade, preventing your purchases and holding you up. Speaking of purchases, let's move on to the next tip. The third tip we're going to be discussing is perks. Which perks are the best to purchase? Okay, so in my opinion, the top 2 perks are Curse Health Drain and Awaken the Fire Spirits. Fire Spirits are great because they add pressure to the opponent. They can somewhat dictate the positioning of the opponent and force certain play. Now, Curse Health Drain is probably the best perk on the map, and the reason it's so good is because it's guaranteed damage, right? Shades can be killed, Fire Spirits can be dodged. The Health Drain is guaranteed damage every time. There's no dodging, there's no outrunning Health Drain. The only problem with it is that once the health drops low enough, it won't drain any further. Even if it's still active, the player has to gain health past a certain point for the curse to start draining again. So it won't incapacitate the player alone. However, at that point, one hit from Fire Spirits or an enemy or bees or some other damage source is gonna drop a player down. Now let's talk about shades. To me, shades are very situational. You gotta know what the situation is and who you're up against. The problem with shades is that they give Magatama upon dying. So if you're up against some good players, you're basically handing them free Magatama because they are going to annihilate those shades. And at that point, you're not really getting the most out of your purchase compared to the other perks. Also, both regular shades and elder shades drop 5 Magatama, but the elder shades are a bit tougher to kill. In my experience, the best times to purchase a shade are when you see the other team holding lots of Magatama and you know they're about to cash in. A perfectly timed shade to hold them up will definitely trigger them. The best time is when you're neck and neck with a team and you both have enough Magatama to start your last stand waves. Throwing in an elder shade to get a head start on your last stand while preventing the other team from cashing in, so either they have to deal with the elder shade or go clear out all the other enemies, gives you a massive advantage. And this is why I said earlier, seconds are the difference in this game mode. The absolute difference. Also, if your teammate happens to be carrying enough Magatama at that moment, go ahead and stack some more shades. Make it hell for them. At that point, you don't have to worry about the other team getting Magatama from the shades because they already have enough to start their last stand. They're just being prevented from cashing in. I have seen shades become nightmares, but don't think that shades are useless or not good at all. They definitely can present issues for the other team, read the situation, and decide when it's the best time to use them. We haven't talked about Cursed Wildfire yet. Cursed Wildfire is a perfect cleanup perk. So when Health Drain is on cooldown, or Fire Spirits are on cooldown, or the other team is running on fumes, Wildfire is especially annoying when trying to pick up Magatama because the player has to physically run into the fire to collect it. It will catch you if you're sleeping, so you gotta respect it. The fourth tip I have for you, and this is specifically for Nightmare difficulty, is attunements. So having the right attunements is going to be crucial in clearing out enemies as quickly as possible. If it's just one dude left and you gotta kill him quickly, even without the proper attunement, it's fine to just focus and burst that enemy down rather than wasting time running across the map to get the right attunement. Other than that, you want to make sure you have the right attunement. An enemy I see halting a lot of players are the cursed enemies. You know, the ones that revive if you don't kill the pair fast enough. You want to make sure you're working with your teammate and get these guys out of the way as fast as possible. You don't want to waste damage on these guys just to have them revive back up. Now, it would be helpful to know which attunements you need and when, wouldn't it? So I'm going to be highlighting the proper attunements needed for each area of the map. For the first wave, orange or sun attunement is needed. For the second wave, the blue or moon attunement is needed. For the third wave, both blue and orange attunements are needed. For the fourth wave, both orange and green attunements are needed. For the fifth wave, the one with the EO Disciple, green attunement is needed. For the sixth wave, both green and blue attunements are needed. You should have enough Magatama to start your last stand wave by then, but if not, the seventh wave is blue and orange attunement. And if you still do not have enough Magatama to begin your last stand waves, then you probably lost the game. Let's be real. Which leads us to the next tip. Last stand waves. Every game is going to be different, and what you do will depend on the situation. In my opinion, generally it's best to just focus down those last stand waves as quickly as possible and move through the waves. Don't worry about picking up Magatama, don't worry about purchasing perks or killing shades. Simply kill those last stand waves as quickly as possible to reach victory. If you can throw in a perk quick on the way, go ahead and go for it. But you really want to cut those waves down as quickly as you can. My last and final tip for you is to never give up. You aren't going to win every game, and that's okay. Don't get discouraged if you see the enemy team in the lead. Don't get discouraged by losses, and don't leave the game right before a loss. That's poor sportsmanship. Face defeat with honor. Use PlayStation's built-in recording feature to save the replay and go back and watch it to find out what you could have done better, or where the game started rolling in the other team's favor. I've seen some incredible comebacks in this game when it seemed hopeless. And I myself have come back from behind, so always play to the end. You never know what could happen. So those were my best tips for achieving victory in Rivals in the Realm of the Dead. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something. Take these tips and keep them in mind for the next time you play. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new, that way you can see all my latest content. Have a great rest of the day. You know what we say. Play and train. Game insane. I'm out, guys. Take care.